Hello, vinyl community. Mr. Bizzarro with you here once again, and this time I'm going to show you my recent acquisitions. I showed you a couple of my collections last time, and we'll get back to the collections at some point. But I see a lot of recent acquisition posts up here, so I'm going to show you mine. This is a trip, three trips consisting of two record shops and one thrift shop. So I think I did pretty good. First up, we have only the greatest live rock and roll album ever made. Of course, we're talking about The Who, Live at Leeds. Need I say more? If I need say more, you need to school yourself. The Who, Live at Leeds. The single greatest live rock and roll album ever made in the history of mankind. Not debatable. Next. Next. I picked this up for $1.50, and I simply bought it to put in as a part of my collection. I think I'm close to completing this portion of my Who collection. This is 1981, Face Dances. It's not really great. It's definitely not one of their best, but there are a couple good tracks on here. You Better, You Bet. Entwistle's has got, of course, one of his originals, The Quiet One, Another Tricky Day. You know, those kind of songs. It's cool. It's okay. For $1.50, sold. Here's an LP that I found that actually I believe another member had ended up posting on his recent acquisitions. I didn't know what it was, but for $1.50, I picked it up. Vinyl's in excellent shape, covers in great shape. This is Kaleidoscope, Bernice, 1971. Again, this is another $1.50 purchase, so I picked it up. And side one, I'm not really into, a little too folky for me. Side two, however, they get a little heady and they get into some extended tracks and a little more rock oriented. I like that. So another $1.50, couldn't turn it down. Here's another one I picked up for $1.50. 3 for $5 in the bin. $1.50 each or 3 for $5. So I managed to squeak out 3 in for $5. This is 10 years after, and this goes into my collection as well. This is Rock and Roll Music to the World. Rock and Roll Music to the World. It's a good album. It's definitely not one of their best, but it's a great album. I like it. And like I said, for $1.50, what are you going to do? You're not going to turn it down, are you? I think you'd be crazy to turn it down. Next. I got this as well in the $1.50 bin. I'm not a real fan of Later on Genesis, but there are so many radio hits on here. I picked it up strictly out of nostalgia because I really like it. This is Genesis, self-titled. I believe this is 81 or 82. 1983. And this has got a ton of hits on it, man. Look at this. That's All, Home by the Sea, Mama, Illegal Alien, Taking It All Too Far. I mean, come on. Every song on here was like a radio hit. So for $1.50, what are you going to say? No? You're going to be pompous and not want it just because it's not all that much cool? Here's one I picked up, and I hardly see these around at all. So the second I saw it, I picked it up because I do have his second release, solo release. This is John Entwistle's first solo release. This is 1971. Smash Your Head Against the Wall. Get it in frame there. Right? John Entwistle, Smash Your Head Against the Wall. Let me give you a little insight on this guy. The Quiet One, as he's named, the Ox as he's named, hey, it's not true. This guy may not be speaking out loud and screaming at the front of the group, but let me tell you, this guy he had some deep, dark thoughts running through his head. I mean, this guy's writing songs. He's writing songs about masturbation. He's writing songs about alcohol addiction. He's writing songs about suicide. He's writing songs about the breakup of his marriage, and I mean, the guy had a sick mind. I love John Entwistle, and I love his solo work. Smash Your Head Against the Wall, 1971, it's my favorite John Entwistle release ever. Probably like this more than any Who that's been put out, and that's probably debatable for some people, but you can go on and complain about it. He put out one after this, I believe 72 or 73, called Whistle Rhymes. I have that copy as well. This is a nice gatefold. Funny, this cover is actually a this is an X-ray of a lung cancer patient. You see the rib cage behind him. Also, he had a clear plexi type of plastic life mask made, and he put that on over top, superimposed the X-ray on top of it. And it's really, the dude was creepy, man. The dude had creepy thoughts, man, and he put it down on vinyl for you to listen to and experience. The guy's a trip, man. Not only one of the greatest bass players of all time, completely revolutionized the bass as an instrument, but the guy had some shit rolling around up in there, some marbles banging up against each other. Next, this is another one I never heard of, but I picked it up before I even realized who was in it. It's the Apocalypse Now sessions, the Rhythm Devils. And this is literally the Apocalypse Now soundtrack, but put to all this cool percussive music in the background. Really cool, man. Buck $50, $2, something like that. I picked it up. I you know what it is? I didn't even know what it was. I looked at the back and I said, look at all this percussion there. You know, there's a bunch of candles around. They got carpets on the floor, and they look like they're really getting heady, man. I picked it up and brought it home and found out that Mickey Hart and Phil Lesh are two of the members in here, hence the Grateful Dead-esque skeletons jamming out by the river. Really cool. Not all that interesting to listen to, but it definitely caught my eye, and I listened to it more than once. It kind of grows on you. Here's one that I mentioned I was going to show you in the future. I still have to look up the background on this album, but I found this for $3. This is Warner Brothers Presents the Alice Cooper Show. This is 74 or 5, when he really went all out with the theatrics in his show. I believe it was the Welcome to My Nightmare tour, possibly, maybe not, it might have been after that. But either way, this album is great, man. It sounds great, the production is great. It's really packaged strange. It's packaged really strange. Look at this. Look, this is the top, right? But when I turn it over, look, it's upside down. So now I got to turn it upside down, and here comes the vinyl. I don't get it. But look at some of these tracks on here. Under My Wheels, 18, Only Women Bleed, Sick Things, It's My Body, I Never Cry. Come on, $1 Billion Babies, School's Out. It's got great tracks, and it sounds awesome. Again, the production is amazing on it, man. Great job on a live album. Here's an album that I have a copy of, but I've had since I was 5 or 6, so it's completely destroyed, man. So I found this for $3 and picked this up as well. Of course, Grand Funk, man, Closer to Home. What, just a bashing, hard rock, man. Driving album. I love it. I love it. For $3, the vinyl was mint. I mean, the vinyl was mint. How somebody could own this album and only play it once or twice is beyond me. Beautiful. I'm a big fan of Cactus. I'm a big fan of BBA. I'm a big fan of Jeff Beck. So when I saw this original pressing, I had to pick it up. This is pre all that. Vanilla Fudge, baby. What can you say about the fudge, right? Got Ticket to Ride, People Get Ready, She's Not There, Bang Bang, You Keep Me Hanging On, Eleanor Rigby. I mean, this is serious psychedelic, man. Psychedelic right over top of the originals. Of course, they're mostly remakes, but they do them so well. And they put such a psychedelic edge to these songs and makes them completely awesome to listen to. Vanilla Fudge, man. I think it's another. I think it was $3 or $4. Vinyl's in great shape, and again, it's an original pressing. Love it. Stereo recording. This is cover's not in all that great shape again, but the vinyl is in awesome shape, and I have quite a few of these LPs from this band. This is 1973, I believe. This is Gentle Giant Octopus, and the cover's a little beat, but again, if you know anything about me, you know I'm a man of principle. I picked it up because the vinyl is in awesome shape, and it exists. And I'm not paying $25 for something just because the cover's in excellent shape. It's inside is what counts to me. Gentle Giant Octopus. Great, man. Great progressive. Just kick-ass progressive. Here's another progressive band that I dig. This is a conceptual progressive band. British-based out of Germany. This is a British band that spent a lot of time in Germany. This is probably my favorite album by these guys. This is Nectar. Remember the Future. What a great album, man. You want to talk about beginning to end? Conceptual, man. It's about a spaceman that comes down. He's got all kinds of issues with mankind. They treat him like crap. He just wants to help. You get it. It's all been done before, right? There it is. Nectar. God, what a great album. They also have a few others. A Tab in the Ocean is another great Nectar album. There are a couple more that are really good, but then they started to get a little too poppy, a little too comfortable. I'm kind of hearing a bit of push by the record company to make them some money now. You put out your conceptual albums. Now put out something a little more poppy and easily likable by the masses so you can make some money. What are you going to do? You want to keep your contract? You want to attempt to make a conceptual album down the road. You're going to have to make the record company happy. Unfortunate. My final recent acquisition. It's Christmas time, right? We're coming into the season. Everyone wants to be merry. We're getting our trees out. We're decorating. What did I find? one of my favorite metal, black metal, satanic metal. I just call it good metal. I don't let those lyrics get in the way. And I never let lyrics get in the way of the music for me. Unless you get like in the shredding in the, say, Dream Theater, an amazing band. As soon as the singer starts, man, I just want to slice my ears off. Liquid Tension Experiment, by the way, is pretty much Dream Theater without the vocals. So check that out. Anyway, back to this. This is what I found as my Christmas album. This is a 12-inch single. King Diamond, No Presents for Christmas. When I saw this, man, I had to pick it up. I have this on cassette. I have it on CD. But when I found the single, come on, look at that. You kidding me? King Diamond. I love it. Boom. King Diamond, No Presents for Christmas. The B-side has Charon on it. Come with me. My name is Charon. Well, there you go. I'd like to mention one more thing. I'm not like some of your collectors out there with 8,000 selections on vinyl. I've got 400 or 500. Matter of fact, I think I'm at 520 now after my recent acquisitions. I just like to pick up music that I'm interested in. As far as vinyl, I have to be really picky about what I get. Because, I have a CD collection that is, I think I'm probably over 5,000 CDs in my CD collection. and a majority of those are CDs that you just can't find on vinyl. Do I want them on vinyl? Absolutely, man. So it's either a situation that you can't find them on vinyl, or when you do find them on vinyl, they want 80, 90, 100, 150 bucks for an album. And I'll be honest, I'm not that into collecting LPs. If I have it on CD and they want $1.50, $150 for it on eBay or something like that, I'm just not going to buy it. I'm not going to go that far. I'm not that insane when it comes to collecting. So my vinyl collection is limited, and it's very condensed down to what I thoroughly enjoy. I mean, thoroughly and completely enjoy on vinyl. And 90% of it is stuff that I don't have on CD. But there are bands that I have on CD that I bought on vinyl as well, Hendrix and Doors and things like that. So maybe at some point, I know this is the vinyl community and we're supposed to maybe be strictly, condensed to vinyl, but I'd like to maybe mix in some of my LP collection with the remainder of the collection being on CD. So I think I'm going to show you that in the future. I mean, I have so many impossible to find LPs on CD, digitized original copies of LPs that audiophiles have given me and that I found online searching. So I think in the future I'm going to show you that. Maybe here and there, spotlight another collection. Maybe mix them in, that way you don't get too bored with the CDs, because CDs are, you gotta admit, they're boring as hell, man. Looking at a piece of artwork that big, and then you look over at the vinyl, and the vinyl's that big, and the gatefold's that big, and it really gives you something to absorb. CDs don't give you much to absorb. You get a little disc, and you get a little piece of paper with a book. You can barely read the font, the shit's so small. So I'm gonna do my best to stay true to the vinyl aspect of the VC. But I do want to show some of my CDs, because like I said, it's the majority of my collection. And a lot of the shit just can't be found on vinyl, period. I think that's it for me now, VC. I hope you enjoyed the clip. Let's see what I can dig up next. Maybe I'll put up another post today. It is a nice bright day out, the sun's shining, and the birds are singing. La, 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 la. Everything's great, right? So until next time, vinyl community, take care. And if you don't know what's up, learn.